Hi, Murtaza. Welcome to the Impact Revolution channel. It's a big pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm doing well,
Uh,
thank you.
Very good. Yes, sorry for the small technical issues. That's why we were a bit delayed. However, now we are all seems to be fine. So I just wanted to start with two personal questions, if you don't mind, so the
Sure,
audience knows you a bit better, and then we can go to the professional ones. That's okay?
sure.
All right, cool. So first one will be Murtaza. If you could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, where it will be and why?
I would love to wake up in Zanzibar again.
Zanzibar. Okay.
Why Zanzibar? It's because it is peaceful, it's calm, it's a beautiful island to be.
Uh huh. All right. Very good. Very good. That's
Life
where
is
you grow up, right?
That's where I was born.
Yeah, you were born. Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool. All right. I will visit it one day, hopefully. I'm
absolutely.
curious. I'm curious. Yes. All right. Very good. The second question, Murtaza, will be if I ask you what was your happiest moment in life so far, what is the first memory that comes to your mind?
Happiest moment in my life is when my son was born.
All right. Okay. Great.
Right.
Uh huh.
23 years ago. And that was the happiest moment in my life because I could not believe I'm holding a baby that was produced from me and my wife.
Beautiful. Yeah, that has to be something different. I'm not a father, so I
Absolutely.
cannot tell. I cannot share that yet.
Yeah, so it was a different feeling altogether. And
uh,
couldn't believe the feeling, but it was a great feeling altogether. Happiest day.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Now we
Mhm.
can go to the more interview-like questions, Murtaza. And I was wondering, someone who really knows you very well and highly admires you and respects you so much, how will define who is Murtaza Versi?
I think they will they will say he's tenacious. He is a person who will never give up.
Tenacious. Uh-huh.
Uh, with a lot of grit
Okay.
uh, and can be very helpful, but don't cross his boundaries because he will
Mm.
throw you out, right?
All right. Very good. I love it. It sounds a bit like me, There is a Japanese
Uh,
saying, that says, if you heard me once, it's your fault, but you heard me twice, it's my fault.
yeah,
you know? So it's something
yeah,
like about the boundaries thing, I
true,
like to
true,
remember this quote.
true.
All right, very good. Thank you. So I wanted to know, you are a leadership coach and trainer, right, in corporations, a kind of culture transformation consultant. I was wondering, what is your why and what made you to go to this field?
Yeah, interesting question, a nice one, because my background has been in the you see, when I was about 17, I was to go to university, and
Uh-huh.
um, a sad thing happened in my life, and my father passed away, and I was the eldest. And at that particular time and moment, I had to cancel all my plans and
Mm-hmm.
start readjusting myself to be able to take care of the family. And so I started work.
Go.
And as I started work, I was able to, and it was about, um, my name says I'm a leader. Murtaza means leader. So I
Okay.
started taking a leadership role in the family, and I started. Um, I think I got matured a little earlier than everyone else, than my peers, and I started to
Mm-hmm.
work, and that work enabled me um, to be given the opportunity to learn.
Mm.
A company that I worked for knew that I missed out my university education, and so they gave me the opportunity to learn and go for learning at different institutions, right?
Uh-huh.
And with that, I felt empowered. I felt I could make decisions, and that's when it struck me that I enjoyed helping people now, because that when I got help, I could see where I was going in my life, and that's when I felt, well, you know what? I think I can help people as well.
Mm,
And
beautiful.
working from commercial perspective, and I moved to the other arena of saying, let me start my business of helping people move to another level. And I looked at Tanzanians, and I felt, they are Tanzanites, a gemstone in Tanzania that you only get in Tanzania. They are Tanzanites, and they only become valuable if you polish them, just like any other gemstone, right?
Mm.
And so I said, I will be that polisher.
All right, very good. Nice to hear that.
And that's when I started my business in terms of capacity building. And that's how I ended up. And it's now 15 years, and we've grown from basic facilitation. We were facilitating, we were training, and we started moving up into different levels of uh, personal development so that I could help other people. So my why really was to help leaders develop more leaders so that they can lead through leaders,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
right?
That's
Because
nice.
they can impact lives. I wanted
Uh-huh.
leaders to develop more leaders to impact lives.
Yeah, inspiring kind of leadership, right? So they can
Correct.
inspire how you were inspired when you were younger. Very good. Thank you so much. That's very cool. And I was wondering, Murtaza, when you started off your own business, what was the biggest challenge that you had to face or overcome?
Yeah, I think with any business, there are various challenges.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a working environment, you know that you're going to get a salary at the end of the month, right? When you start your business, one of the things that really I had to work my way around was first to discuss with the family, because played an integral part of my success. So I had to discuss with them and to understand what are the sacrifices that we're going to go through as a family, right? So that was one thing that I worked through. The other challenge, of course, is when I started my business, I had moved from a town called Arusha to a city in Dar es Salaam. It was only 1 year when I left my job. So I did not have enough network in Dar es Salaam.
Uh-huh. Sure.
So one of the thing was to build my network.
Mm. Very good.
The other thing was to be able to understand the mindset of my customers. As
Mm-hmm.
much as I felt that they needed the programs I was running, um, we needed to understand whether they were able to see my perspective and say, yes, we need it,
Mm.
right?
That could be the
Because,
more challenging thing for, especially for coaching business.
yeah,
My world.
yes. So, people say, yes, we need it, but when it's time to come to the crux of the matter, then they are not there for you, right?
It's not a priority. It's not the most
Yes,
important thing. They say,
yes,
right?
the wait, the delay, and then there was delay, so delay decision making. So that was a challenge, and it's look, starting up a business is not easy. It's the persistency. It's again, that's why I said tenacity plays a bigger role in saying I'm not ready to give up. I will go. I will
Totally.
fight my way through. And yeah, thank God I was able to build relationship, and that's where my slogan comes in with engage, relate, and perform. You need to
Ca-
engage with people, relate with them to be able to perform.
Yeah, right. Engagement, connection. Yeah, I believe also in that. In the power of connection, emotional connection. Very
Yeah.
good. What would you share that so far your biggest lessons learned? This channel is for startups and entrepreneurs, like you, right? And I was wondering if you have any favorite best lessons learned that you could share to thrive.
Yeah, the best lesson learned is number one, um, um, don't feel ashamed of saying that you're not doing well.
Mm.
Seek out help when needed, right? Uh, get the right people to help you because not everyone will want to help you. So identify people who will be your coach, who will be your mentor. They'll be able to guide you and assist you. So the best part is to I don't call them coach, but I call them my partners. They're my partners in life in terms of helping me with my business, with my career, etc.
Uh-huh.
And so I
Very good.
identified three people. And one of the lessons that I learned is I tried at the first I would engage with people of my caliber, but I would not get anything out of them. What I really needed to do, and that's when I changed it, was to identify where are my areas that I needed support. So that's where I started identifying the right people to support me in my area of improvement.
Very good. All right, nice.
And so that helped me quite a bit.
All right, great. Do you have any particular examples for this?
Yeah. So when you're working, one of the things is I was in the commercial perspective and operational. So yes, I did do a lot of finance, but I was not really an expert in finance.
Uh-huh.
And so I looked for a partner who was had a huge insight in financial understanding, right?
Mm,
Um, and then I also looked for another partner who was great in networks, so
mm,
I could expand my networking as well. Um,
mm,
I was already strong in strategic planning and in customer experience and operational parts. But those two areas were pretty, and of course, one of the area that was really a challenge for me was marketing myself because I was good at marketing business, but
mm-hmm.
branding myself because people buy from people, they don't buy from businesses.
Yeah, that's right. Very good
And
point.
so
Yeah.
building trust with the market was one of my challenges, and I got a good support from that as well on how to develop my brand.
All right. In particularly in that part of relationship and marketing, right? Which I
Yeah.
think is fundamental, especially for coaches. What would you say was the biggest support that you got, in particular in your business? And what support or advice could you give to someone else?
So let me understand your question. Is you want me to share what the support I got in terms of my
Yes.
coaching business?
Yes, yes. So, what are the best advice you got that make you your marketing or your networking part completely different? You know, or maybe a change of mindset or whatever.
Yeah. So you know, when you're in a small market, you want to become a GP, a doctor who's got a general practitioner. And what I learned is let's go and let's become a specialist. And
Mm,
so I worked towards specializing. But on the
okay.
other hand, what is also a learning point is when you don't have a big market, specializing can be challenging as well,
Mm, sure.
right? So you need to balance between a generalist and a specialist in order to be able to come up and be able to survive in the business world.
Totally. Yeah.
But
It has allows some
again, it's
flexibility.
again about 80/20 and visibility. Yeah. So it's about, being out there and in various approaches. So it's either your networking, your outreach, your branding, personal branding, right?
Hmm.
Your social media, your website, everything, plays a part in developing who you are in the market.
All right. Very good. And in terms of that, a part of the networking and marketing, what has been or what was your biggest challenge? Would you say, Murtaza?
The biggest challenge in certain markets like ours is people reading, right?
People
Um,
reading.
yeah, so sending out
Oh,
outreach emails, right? You're trying to get people's email addresses so that you can outreach through using their emails. Uh,
1 second, 1 second. It was cut. Can you come again, please?
okay. So the biggest challenge is to be able to gather email address so that you could
Uh,
send, the email. But we,
uh-huh,
we found out that email was not the best approach for our
uh-huh.
marketing. And
Okay.
so, learning through that, we went into videos and podcasts. And again, we learned that, long podcasts don't work. Short videos, short podcasts work better.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it was all about understanding the market, understanding my target market. Where will they be? What do they like to understand? What would they like to hear? Where are they normally? How do I reach them out? And based on that, we were able to now to dive into the real target market and develop a niche, kind of a niche, but not really a niche market.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Thank you. This is a question I normally leave at the end. However, I felt like asking you now. If there was a last message that you would like to leave to the whole world, Murtaza, which message would that be?
For me, the message is listen, the only way to really sustainably drive your success is by continuously engaging with people. And it's not about engaging only, it's about engaging in terms of understanding
Uh-huh.
what they want
Uh-huh.
and be able to relate with them and
Uh-huh.
foster relationships with people, because on our own we can never succeed. When we do that, we are able to succeed on a longer term. And so my life has been around, and I share that, enhance engagement, foster relationship to drive any results or anything that you need on a long-term basis.
I love it. That's very good. Yeah, it's like the African proverb, right? And if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Correct.
We're going
Correct.
together. All right,
Going
very
together.
good. What are the best tips that you could give us to foster engagement and to engage with people and to really understand what they want?
Fostering, look, if you want to foster engagement, you've got to have understand what are your values and what are the values of others, right?
Very good.
Um, so it's about understanding your internal operating system, your iOS,
Hmm.
understanding other people's iOS, and ensuring that we have our joint iOS, internal operating system, through
Uh huh.
engagement, right?
Uh
When
huh.
you look
Very
at
good.
fostering relationship, is that when you start engaging through our iOS, that's when you're able now to align with each other and be able to support each other in whatever way we want. So I would say empathy is one of the biggest breach.
Hmm. Hmm.
For me, what I say is that when you define your climate that you want and you develop the culture that you want to create, and
Hmm.
with that, the bridge becomes leadership to be able to drive success. And so,
Definitely.
as you're a leader, we are all born a leader, we all die leaders, but we are all in a different journey of leadership. It's all about impacting lives. So try
Yeah.
and impact lives, and you will be able to see success in your journey.
All right. Very good. I love it. It actually resonates a lot with one book I read recently, which is about the values factor. I don't know you know this one, but it relates to this. It's about knowing your values and knowing the values of others and communicating based on the values of the other. You know,
Yes,
so in
absolutely.
their interest. Yeah, so it's very nice. According to this impact in lives, all right, because this is the Impact Revolution channel, how do you do that, Murtaza?
You see, don't give up in supporting someone just because, the toughest part is helping someone who is having a challenge, continuous
Mhm.
challenge in understanding of growth. And if you can help them come out of their own challenges, right? And they're able to see a different perspective from what they have seen themselves, or being able to show them things that they never knew they could see, right?
That's very good. That's like a good
That's
mentor.
when
Class.
that's when you start getting the fulfillment of saying, okay, I've impacted someone, and I hope that whatever I've done with that person, he can do something with it and be able to impact others as well. It's
Uh-huh.
all about the flow, right?
Mhm.
It's how you impact one so that they can impact more.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. A leader's role is to make more leaders, right?
And the more leaders you make, then what happens is you don't have to lead people. You need to lead through leaders.
Mm, that's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful, very nice, Murtaza. Do you have any favorite actual experiences, sample that you can share with us regarding what you just shared?
Yeah, leading through leaders. So I remember at one point in time, I had the
Uh-huh.
opportunity of moving to another country to be a country director,
Okay,
and I had gone through all the interviews,
okay.
and the opportunity was there for me. The last question put me down, and that last question was, "If you go, who is going to succeed you?" And I had not developed a successor.
Uh,
That was one big lesson in my life that I share with everyone. That don't protect your position, help people to take your position so that you can grow to another position.
that's very
And
nice.
when I did that, it was when I was able to do that, I saw a lot of success in me. And today, those leaders that or those people that I help them grow in their position, today, those are the people who talk about my business to their business so that they can engage me for their business.
Nice, nice. That's having gained their trust, right? Uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
completely, completely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very good, very good. I don't know if there is anything you would like to share that we haven't covered so far. It's just 7 minutes left, so I
Yeah.
wanted to give you the opportunity, Mortaza.
Yeah. I mean, look, when we are having the climate, I think one of the things that really matters today is that how do we bring in excellence? And excellence can be brought in a different perspective. As leaders, we are not we don't want to just be management. We want to have that impact on others. And one thing that I'm very conscious about is about being able to learn on a continuous basis, is having
Hmm.
my intellect open and understanding that you've never reached the destination as yet. You're still in a journey, and that you can learn uh, from your supporter, from people you report to you, from your peers, or from your elders, people be above you. And so when you are open with that mindset helps you to grow, which is a growth mindset, and gets you to what you're really doing. Is about redefining business mindset.
Yeah.
And you want to redefine business mindset and impact revolution, then one of the things is to be able to listen to understand and not listen to respond only. And once you do that with respect, and it's always nice, I think, always nice to say, when you're in a position, it's okay to say, I'm sorry I failed.
Hmm.
It's okay to get someone else to lead a team whilst you are at the back end to know, even if you have a higher position as a CEO, you can ask your subordinates to drive a certain project and you being in the team as well. It's about leading beyond the ego, right? It's
Yes,
crushing your
totally.
ego, crushing your ego.
Mm-hmm.
And once you crush your ego, then you can call it in different ways. You can call it servant leadership. You can call it spiritual leadership. It's
Uh,
spiritual intelligence. You can call it anything, but it's all about ego. It's all about me. It's all about how do I go out there and serve people and be able to be respected and respect accordingly. So
love it.
life is full of ups and downs. Life has got a lot of challenges, and if we take challenges in a positive mindset, we're
Uh-huh.
able to grow.
Very good. I like this ego thing, because this is something that everybody, most of from the psychologist part and the emotional intelligence part, is the most, well, probably the hardest thing we have to overcome all the time, right? to to be great leaders or to really serve others in a way that we don't involve our ego all the time, right? How do you do that, or what are the best lesson learned that you may could share with us, regarding that, Murtaza?
So the couple of things that we really need to understand before we go
Mm-hmm.
into things like understanding emotions.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we want to build our body, we go to the gym and build our body.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to build our brain,
For
our
sure.
mental fitness. So as much as we have physical fitness, we need to build mental fitness. And mental
Mm-hmm.
fitness really happens when you start working with your mind to take it to the positive energy rather than to the negative energy.
Mm.
And it can be a story. And I was going through this beautiful book, and it was about
Uh-huh.
positive intelligence. And it was saying, you know, you can have things happen to you. You can look at it either in a good way or you can look at it in a bad way. If you look at it in a good way, it's an opportunity or it's the learning, right?
Mm.
Things
Yeah.
happen to you, right? And so when we start learning, sometimes you need to unlearn to learn
Mm.
habits. And I think when we do that on terms of ego, is understanding that having a self talk, having the mental fitness of understanding yourself, being aware of yourself, being aware of how your emotions come through, how you manage it at that particular time and moment to get positive results that way. And it doesn't come overnight, it comes through a lot of practice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why I do what I do, right? Because it's about doing the work, like you say, to go to the gym. Dumbbell, you lift it, you do exercise, with emotional intelligence as well. It's the same way. Yeah,
And
mindfulness.
when you go to the gym the first day, you don't see the muscles.
Uh-huh. That's right.
As you continue going, you don't know when the muscles are popped out.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly you find yourself muscular. It's the same with the brain, right? You need to develop it. You
Yeah.
need to give it. You need to give that mental fitness. And
It's
once you do
about
that,
neuroplasticity. Yeah, it's
exactly,
about the idea that our brain is designed to adapt and to learn and to create new pathways.
absolutely, it's
Yeah.
very placid as well. So we can develop what we want to develop.
Uh-huh. Very good, thank you. We are in the last minute, okay, and I wanted to ask you, because I'm a very myself committed to lifelong learning. I just share. What is your best way of learning, or is there any tip that you can share with us?
So I have to do it to learn it. I'm a kinesthetic learner.
Okay, okay, do it to learn it. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
So if I have to just read and understand, yeah, it's good. I can do that. But for me, it's about going there and trying it out and understanding how it impacts me, it impacts people around me, And for me, I have to do it to learn it. So every one of us have a different way, a style of learning. Some there are those who can just listen, auditory learners. They're great. They can listen and just understand. There are those who have to see to understand. Others have to do to understand. So for me, it was more about listening and doing to understand. And so
Yeah, definitely.
I just love doing it whenever I get the opportunity.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that last day. That's beautiful. I totally agree. It's doing by learning by doing, right?
Correct.
And sure, Murtaza, we are at the end of the interview. Is there anything else you would like to share or want to say?
I really appreciate you inviting me to this episode, and we connected, and again, it's through engagement that we had and the relationship that we've built, and so that we are able to share it with the world. I mean, you're doing a great job. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for me, and wishing you success in the impact revolution
Thank you,
journey.
Murtaza. I really appreciate it. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. We keep in touch. Thanks a lot for the kind words.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ciao.